And we're live. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another show, the SEO video show. Today we have Victor Pan, and we'll be talking about how SEO meets AI training and relevance engineering. This came about a post he posted in a private Slack group that we are a part of. And I was like, man, this is confusing. Let's talk about it. Let's create an episode. It was interesting, and I want to learn more about it, his thoughts. So, waiting for Victor to come on. Victor is the principal SEO at HubSpot. So, great stuff. My man, Stefan. Missed you last week. We got about 6 minutes to go. Don't be shy. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Hopefully I got a few of you from the AIS chat up in here. Yo, Ernesto. Oh, yeah. We have everyone slowly coming in. We got about 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go. We have Val from Bend, Oregon. My man. Yes, I got it right this time. I got it right. Before I saw that. If you're just tuning in, we will have Victor Pan on today's episode, and he is the principal SEO over at HubSpot. So this is going to be a great interview. We'll be talking about relevance engineering. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. See what they're doing at HubSpot. I want to know what they're doing at HubSpot too. Especially with all the AEO stuff. Marcus, hi. Oh yeah, I see Victor just coming on. Victor, my man, how you doing? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
Is my mic working? Oh.
Yeah, it's working. Can you hear us? Oh, I don't think you can hear us. Oh yeah. All right, I don't know why I hit the horn. I was hoping to see that if Victor can hear that. Victor, can you hear us? We got about 4 more minutes to go. We have Victor Pan of HubSpot, and we will be talking about how SEO meets AI training and relevance engineering. A great topic for today, which is something that I first kind of just started just curious about when he posted this in a private community. So Victor, can you hear us? Victor.
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Okay, good. All right. We got less than 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Say hi in the live chats. Ah, yeah. So how was your French? What you have for French lunch? Escargot.
Went to a place called Parish Cafe, which is a nice little spot in Boston where they have the celebrity chefs around the area submit kind of what they think it should be in a sandwich, and you get to sample, creations from all kinds of restaurants around Boston, but in one central location.
Oh, interesting. I gotta check that out. All right, Eric Wu in the house. Welcome. Hopefully a lot more of you from the AIS chat is coming by. Say hi. Let us know where you're watching from, guys. We got about 3 more minutes to go. Today we have a lovely topic today on how SEO meets AI training and relevance engineering. It's a topic that I kind of just read in a post by Victor in our Slack group, which was a bit confusing to me. So I'm like, let's talk about this. It looks interesting. I want to learn more. All right, Maddox. Hello, fellas. Do you go into an office or are you remote?
I am fully remote since COVID-19. We do go back into the office whenever we have team events, though.
Nice. Okay, what's up, guys? What's up, James? All right, did you have a chance to see the updated calendar invite? Or did you see my?
You mean all the show notes that I'm supposed to answer?
Yeah. Did you see that?
Just briefly.
Okay. I mean, it's nothing new. Obviously, it was taken from our Slack post that you posted, which I'm very interested about. And just, we're going to get to know you. So, Fletcher, hey, Victor and Dre. All right, we got a full house today. Be sure to get your notebooks ready and ask questions. You can ask any questions. This is an AMA, a live AMA that you can deal with Victor. Would love to see what he's doing right now in his current position. What's hot? Oh man. Eric says, just get a Neuralink and download Victor's brain. Oh man, let me see. I know I have. Oh, here he goes. There we go. 8-3. All right, there we go. I used to memorize my tracks, but I haven't used my soundboard in a while, so that was a late laugh. All right, so we got less than 45 seconds to go. So, Victor, I'm going to go put you on mute real quick, and I'm going to do a quick intro, then I'm going to introduce you right in. All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, we have Victor Pana in the building, and we'll be talking about SEO meets AI training and relevance engineering. So, get ready, as we will get started in a few seconds.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay. Let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO. You will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and today's guest is Victor Pan of HubSpot. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Colin, Larry, Eric, Fletcher, James, Maddox, Eric, Victor, Marcus, Al, Ernesto, wow, Stefan, Logan, a lot of you guys out here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why did the SEO cross the road? They wanted to get hit by traffic.
All right. Some quick news from Google. It looks like August spam update is still rolling out. I didn't see any completion dates on Google Webmasters, and so don't change anything yet. Google also removed documentation for some deprecated structured data types. However, just because Google search features doesn't show these data types doesn't mean that you should stop using them. Other technology can still read them, right? I mean, we have the LLMs. We'll be talking more about LLMs today with our show. But before we get started, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Dre, why did the SEO cross the road?
Traffic is vanishing and AI search is the reason why. Hi, I'm Paul Andre de Vera, a 20-year SEO pro, and this is how I beat AI in its own game. Answer engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity are all replacing Google results, and your organic traffic is disappearing. No links, no attribution, just lost visibility. Right at the moment, people are deciding what to buy. These answers shape the buyer's journey, but you get zero traffic and zero credit. So how do you stay visible even when search engines stop sending traffic? I use Profound, the only tool built to help brands in AI search. I used to spend hours optimizing for rankings. Now I optimize for answers, and Profound tells me precisely what AI is talking about my brand. Profound gives you answer engine insights. See where and how AI mentions your brand. Agent analytics. Track how often AI crawlers visit and use your content. Conversation Explorer. Discover what real users ask AI before they buy. And shopping visibility. Boost product presence in ChatGPT shopping. If you're not showing up in AI answers, you're out of the conversation. Start now before your brand disappears from the buyer's journey. Be sure to click the link below and try Profound.com to take back your brand's visibility.
Victor has been doing SEO for over a decade. He's a reformed SEO spammer and ex-manager of multi-million-dollar digital advertising budgets for Fortune 500 companies at Catalyst Digital. He's an SEO speaker and currently a principal SEO at HubSpot. He loves kendo sword fighting. Please welcome Victor Pan.
Victor, my man, welcome to the show.
Wow, you've got a lot of clips from me throughout the web. I forgot that I helped out on all those other things.
Everyone, let's give a round of applause. Victor, thank you so much for coming by. This is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here in 1 minute or less. How does Victor get ranking on page 1 of Google?
The joke here would be to go for a keyword that is made up, that nobody's ever searched for before, create a page just on that, tell someone that this term is really important, and have everyone frequently rank track it, check it yourself on your phones and devices, tell everyone else to do the same. And then, at some day, if I'm really popular, maybe start a book on it, maybe call it inbound marketing, and it becomes a thing, and it's now a real thing from being a made up concept. So category creation is one way that some people do it. Yep. There are other ways, and there are other experiments that you might do to rank on page 1, but that is the simplest way, is to just come up with a new term.
I love that. All right, let's rewind this way. Let's go back 10 years. Hold on. All right, take us back 10 years ago. How'd you first get into SEO?
10 years, probably longer than that, but I first got into SEO actually more like I was helping the family business. Okay. My family runs a fried chicken chain store. The rent was going up, and we had to figure out what to do with kind of the mixed use of the space there. And I got to not only be an office worker, planning out, what we could do with a brand expansion, but also realize that, hey, we really need to grow kind of our presence digitally. And so being the young kid, I was creating the site, I was trying to drive impressions and all those other things. And I got into the metrics of things. I even got into menu design, which is really close to like CRO, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Or you have, user psychology and how they look at content, but in the form of a menu. And then how do you influence the behaviors of there? But truly, if you're talking about like pure SEO, I was introduced that when I went to college. We had a business course, and we had to pitch, product ideas and set up a site and all that. And that through that coursework was actually how I learned about SEO more formally. This was, if you want to talk about full circle journeys, the school that I was in, Boston University, was actually just using Website Grader from HubSpot as the tool to assess whether or not the students had learned how to do website optimization and creation. And so I got 100 on that, of course, right? I was in charge of all the IT stuff because my teammates trusted me to do so. And then from there, I got my first job out of college working at a PPC SaaS company called WordStream. And I got to learn from the founder and CTO and a master at search himself, Larry Kim. And that's how I got started in search.
Interesting. I didn't know you were at WordStream, but I get a little feedback there. Okay, it's gone. But so how'd you actually learn it then? When you were learning in college, this whole website grader thing, like what were you doing? Like how'd you actually learn SEO?
In the early days, it was just a checklist, and did you do it right?
Okay.
But then, as you get more advanced, it's not just about doing that checklist SEO. You realize real life events drive actions to a site. And it's a bit more about both the technical things of speaking of what a search engine understands to kind of the human element of here's something that happened in real life. How do we make sure that amount of presence exists digitally as well?
Got it. So I'm curious. I didn't know this until I was doing your research on your bios. Like you were an SEO spammer before. All right. So I'm curious. Like, what were you doing? What was your form of spam? I mean, what were you like promoting? Tell us a story about that. I would love to hear about that.
Yeah. So like when you go in an office, and it's just a small crew of folks. And the founder's like, I'm going to teach you SEO, like how it really is. And this is back in the days where, guest postings were a thing, directory links were a thing, comment links and signatures and all that was still a thing. I think we were still talking about article submission sites. Like if you think about all those things, they don't exist unless it's just for search, right? And so we got to see all the rollouts of Panda and Penguin and all that, right? And so when you think about those early activities of like, hey, I'm doing SEO, you're not really creating any value for real people. You're just feeding things that work to feed the algorithm. So did I create a lot of fake accounts to push links on pages? Yeah. Did I have like tools? Do I know what a social bookmarking site and tools are and stumble upon all that stuff? Yeah. Did I have a lot of like different Reddit accounts and all those things? Yeah, I had all those things, right? And we were working on automating and creating bots of all sorts. And it was, as a startup, you're basically trying to game search as a channel to really grow. And it was aggressive. Like you're trying to have double-digit growth, not yearly, but monthly. You're trying to, double the size of demand easily by the year, right? Like it's you just do everything. There was no what are we going to do next? It's like, hey, we got an idea. Let's just go with it. I would say like every day I went into the office, Larry had a new idea, and I was there learning and absorbing whatever ideas he had and executing.
I was going to say that was Larry, because I remember Larry, he was like an undercover black hatter, because he would speak at Ungagged and just share like all some crazy stuff. And I was like, man, this guy knows a lot. And he would have like this other, then now he is, I believe he runs, what's that, Customer AI now? Is that his new project he's got going on? Yeah. So, okay. All right. So speaking of Reddit accounts, if you still have those are gold right now, because those must be aged Reddit accounts, which right now are going like over few $100s on the market from just so I heard. If you still have like those accounts that are over like 5 years old, man, dude, you're sitting on a gold mine right there. You can put that on the market. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think again, I think you could do those things, or you could do real things that have impact on the web. Ultimately, I understood kind of that growth journey. I care more about real things, real impact now than that's semi-debatable. I am into crypto a little bit, but I think the point is I like to have impact on things that I can see.
Got it. Love that.
Things that could be more ephemeral, right?
Love that. Okay, take us through your journey to HubSpot. Like, what things are you doing at HubSpot as a principal SEO there? What is your daily life look like, or daily SEO life there?
That is a question that changes depending on the day of the week.
Okay.
And year of the season. Month of the season, I guess. Right now, there's a lot of interest in our case, answer engine optimization, or others would call AI search, generative engine optimization, AI search optimization, whatever name you want. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're speaking the language of your audience, right?
Yep.
And I'm knee deep in just understanding how these systems work, how they relate and build from traditional search, where the overlaps are, their differences, and the similarities as well.
Love that. Perfect segue to our topic of today. And we have Debbie here saying visual impact for the win. What's up, Debbie? How you doing? Okay, let's go. So speaking of Debbie and Eric, we're in a part of a private Slack group, and I actually read a post of yours which was very, very interesting. And I was like, hey, I want to talk about that. And I mean, I'm not that technical, and at the same time, it's like I can see what you're saying, but then again, not. But I want to put it to practice. So I want you to help us put this into practice. So for those that have not read this post of yours, what were you kind of like trying to solve here? What was this post about in general?
Yeah. So when you're asking any sort of LLM that is chat-based as a chat assistant, they will give you an answer. And some of those answers are just what the model will spit back. Some of those answers are grounded in web search results. So before it gives you an answer, it checks the web and then pulls data and then gives you an answer, right? So the root of this would be, well, as a brand, what are the default biases an LLM may or may not have or know about my brand? Does it know me as me 2 years ago when I was a single product company? Or does it know me as who I like to be presented now, as a multi-product company? Have I changed my positioning, and has that been reflected on the default state of these LLMs, right? So that's the one thing. Are there any biases, and are there any misunderstandings on the accuracy of who I am?
Got it.
The second part of that is, okay, if there is one, how do I influence the default state? And the other part would be, and this is kind of most of the AEO tactics you'll hear on LinkedIn or elsewhere on any conferences you go to. Most people are talking about AEO influences where there is web search results incorporated in it, where, you know, you're on some sort of listicle or Reddit or Wikipedia is being cited, right? Like these are sources that influence the answer. That's a separate subset and set of behaviors you can separate out in terms of optimizations. And for me, in that thread that you're, I said like, hey, I think this training data stuff is very interesting and very hard. And ultimately, you need to be able to know when you're asking any sort of question, is it using the web or not? Fortunately, there is a way to tell.
Ooh, okay.
And that way to tell is to use a developer console on your browser, look at the network requests in there, and then look for the XML HTTP requests within there.
Yeah.
Inside there, again, you're digging really deep there. Look for the request there's in conversations. And then inside some of those responses, you'll see that, oh, wow, this is how I'm getting that text back from these AI assistants. And then inside some of that, it will tell you, hey, was the web search tool being used? And it will also have other interesting things in there, like what were the queries being used for web search? So a lot of times people are talking about query fan out. And then they're like, okay, where are all the queries are being used? Well, you can see that in there. That's what a lot of plugins now enable you to do, is it extracts it from there. And then from there, you're able to do more analyses. But in my case, what I cared about was, actually, I want to do prompts where I know for sure these things aren't happening. Because I want to know, again, what is the default that we need to influence? And then the second question is, okay, what kinds of sources of data does that look like?
Man, I never thought of like looking at the developer the console and just like looking at this. But it's great stuff on identifying that. So let's kind of like go deeper into this. Let's backtrack a little bit. So like you called Wikipedia a beast when it comes to grounding prompts. Why do you think that plays such a role in LLMs? Or
yeah, I think this is kind of where things are going. With OpenAI moving to basically choosing which model you do for you based off of the complexity or predictions they have in your prompt. So it used to be that you would select which model you're doing, right? And there's like O4 mini, O3, 4.0, like it could be anything. Now we just have GPT-5. And then behind the hood, sometimes it shows actually O5 mini, I'm sorry, 5 mini, and then deep thinking, and then the general. And then I think there's even like a paid one too. And these are actually different models suited for different purposes. And they put in more resources or less resources in giving you an answer back. So understanding, again, like now that the model has upgraded itself from say 4 to 5, understanding that, hey, the answer sources have probably updated itself from kind of its knowledge cutoff point. For the audience here, a knowledge cutoff point is kind of the date range in which an LLM has been trained on in providing any sort of knowledge. So anything past the cutoff date, they would need to pull from the web to understand. Anything before that could be pulled directly or answered directly because it already has it in its training data.
How do we know which what the date cutoff is? Is there something just publicly out there that says?
So there are system prompts within each of your LLMs. If you ask them, hey, when is your knowledge cutoff date? It'll tell you.
Oh.
You can also look for documentation, being like, hey, just find it within their open documentation of what the knowledge cutoff dates are. Note that it can be different between free and paid tiers. Generally speaking, the paid tiers have a more recent knowledge cutoff date than the free tiers, and generally it kind of moves ahead. And so the question then, of course, goes like, all right, what work am I doing that is building into kind of the training data set of these LLMs? And how do I know that it's effective? And going back to the whole Wikipedia thing, I realize you can just download Wikipedia, right? Like it's an open source project.
Okay, yeah.
They provide data sets about themselves. There are other data sets as well where a lot of data science folks have cleaned up the data on Wikipedia. And it's a whole ecosystem out there. And if you read kind of these benchmark studies by all these frontier models, they often will tell you like how much better they are at certain tasks. And that sometimes some of those tasks, because they're in their training data, they will perform better. And it's, the best analogy I have is, it's kind of like the difference between someone that has taken the SATs but never did a practice test to someone that's taking practice tests and then taking the SATs. And then there's the next level here, which is, they have the actual answers. And maybe sometimes they'll answer exactly as, the test score questions. And that's the case with training data, right? Like for some of these tests, they use exactly the data for them. So it's not accurate for that. And they have to disclose that whenever they do that.
Got it. Right. So, I mean, you were talking about, like, you mentioned that having outdated Wikipedia page could be a death sentence by multi-product companies. Can you explain why maybe this could, or maybe share an example of like how this plays out?
Yeah. So imagine like you are trying to go through a rebrand right now. Right. And this is probably the most frustrating time to do any sort of rebrand. Because you will have to wait quite a while until the knowledge cutoff date hits, until these AI assistants understand that, you're no longer just doing this one thing, you're doing all these other things. Or you're no longer a local agency, you're now a global agency. Or you're an SEO tool to like you're a enterprise suite for digital visibility or something, right? Like as you evolve, unfortunately, you still have to deal with this knowledge cutoff date. And until that data set updates itself, you have these issues. So Wikipedia is a good fill-in. Why? Because going back to this concept of this router of like mixture of experts, I saw that in a chat there where you're trying to figure out what is the best thing to fill in for the user's needs. I have a theory, which is you can slowly but surely see OpenAI take this route, which is similar to this route that Google has taken in the past, where you have verticals. So in the case of Google search, when we're using it, old school SEOs will know universal search is the combination of a lot of different search verticals. And that includes the web, includes images, includes videos. Those are pretty straightforward. There's news, there's finance, there's scholar, there's flights, there's hotels, there's like all these other smaller things. There's finance. And that is actually universal search. With ChatGPT and OpenAI, what you're seeing with all these content partnerships, this is a hypothesis here, is, they don't really have a knowledge vault that supports the knowledge graph that Google has to know what is true or not, right? Because the way LLMs work is it's probabilistic, right? So when there's citing Frugal, which is e-commerce and shopping. How did I forget shopping, right? what you're seeing here with OpenAI is, well, they will often cite Wikipedia, and it's almost as if they're using that as like a knowledge graph.
Yeah.
And then you can see them often cite a lot of these publications that they have partnership deals, almost as if it was a form of news, right?
Yeah.
And then you have these partnerships that they're like, oh, that's like Reddit, like that's part of that, or like Shopify, that's e-commerce, right? Like these partnerships, you can really see how with their new like method, it's more about like piecing together data that they have from their preferred sources, and then getting kind of that answer. And it's very interesting to see, because if you're working in this general AEO space, you will also find that it's different depending on the frontier model on what their favorites are. But so far, across most studies, you're seeing Wikipedia get cited over and over as a very dominant citation source. For that reason, I think that it's this nice grounding of a knowledge graph that is actually, closer to facts versus probability. And I think that's like a really good match. And there's a second part to this, which is when your prompts get more and more complex, when your job that you've assigned to these agents now becomes more complex, as they're thinking through, they need to understand these concepts. And a good way to make sure that it's going directionally the right way is through knowledge, is through grounding to a Wikipedia or definition type kind of article about what the topic is about before it stands out more about the needs of that topic or task. So you'll oftentimes see in kind of deeper research reports that Wikipedia will show up. And again, if you're a single product company, that's the one that shows up in Wikipedia and it's outdated. Oh man, you are in a world of hurt.
Oh man. All right. So from your testing, what signals or prompts gave you the clearest view of whether a page was included in an LMM training data? Like what were some of those?
Yeah. So you have to think that this is probabilistic, and it's not like an exact science the way I'm doing it. Observability is really hard for LLMs, and knowing kind of like where and what came from where. So the hack that I came up with that I feel good enough about directionally is that, one, when you add in the prompt to say not to use the web search tool, that's been super helpful on it. And two, writing the prompt in a way on like page specifics is also very good for understanding if the LLM is able to probabilistically spit out facts that only that page would be known for. And then forcefully asking the LLMs like yes, no, or they don't know on those specific facts about that page.
Got it. Okay, so basically you're just directing them not to use certain features of their own tool, right? So like don't use a search feature. You're trying to just get into like what they already know. That's what you're trying to do, basically.
That is correct. Okay. And then say like, hey, tell me about this thing that exists. And then also tell me if you know about or don't know about it. Then confirm things that I know is a fact or not a fact. And see if they're able to accurately answer yes, no, or they don't know.
Got it. Okay, so let's go deeper into some of these prompts and experimentations, because you shared a few prompts also within your post in the communities. Like when you ran tests, like is there a page on blank in Wikipedia and summarize?
Let's say web search is involved sometimes. That's where you see the hallucinations. That's where you see the averages of somewhere else on the web. Something else came in.
Okay.
And then it's not exactly right anymore. And so, again, looking back and forth between this grounded, ungrounded web versus not web, I think it was really eye-opening for me in terms of like what we now need to influence, or we need to understand the rationale between why do they like to cite Wikipedia so much?
Okay.
And then we need to understand the rationale behind like why do they want to cite, let's say, these other websites over our own sites, or why would they choose Reddit over our own sites, or why is LinkedIn showing up? And ultimately, a lot of these we're starting to find, it's related to recency. It's related to query deserves freshness. Mm-hmm. It's related to, because you have a knowledge cutoff date, anything that is time sensitive mm-hmm. just does not work for the defaults, right? Because mm-hmm. it's not in your training data.
Got it. Love that. Okay, so let's see here. I want to, based on, so again, when it comes to, you also mentioned testing temperature, like browser tool versus not, and language support. What were some of the biggest takeaways from prompt engineering that?
Yeah, I think so. Temperature. One of the hard things about doing SEO is you have a client and they're like, "Why am I not on page 1 yet?" Right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, you're trying to explain to them rank tracking, mm-hmm. where it's an average ranking in Search Console. And then because they're on their phone in some sort of zip code, in what part time of day, right? Mm-hmm. They may see something different, right?
Yep.
Than what you would see, or what a rank tracker tool would see, or what an average.
Okay.
Temperature is kind of similar there with LLMs, right? Where there is a variability in kind of prompt responses. So my prompt is going to be different from your prompt. Is different from someone else's prompt, because again, similar factors, device, type of account, where I am, time of day. And then temperature is this nice little thing where it kind of removes that variability, at least if you're going through like, directly through the API with OpenAI, you get a set answer. And that's a good way to benchmark of saying, like, this is really the defaults of, like, if it was not as probabilistic, where do we stand today?
Got it. It makes a lot of sense there. So, okay, so I want to go into more of like, on the training data, influencing trading data, because you wrote that influencing trading data is hard, right? It takes about 6+ months to influence that. So, I mean, why do you think it's so slow? I mean, and like how can we start like influencing it?
Yeah, okay. and it's so hard because, like, even though we know what the crawlers are,
yeah,
like OpenAI will be like, oh yeah, it's GPT bot, or Google will be like, oh yeah, Gemini right now, all those crawlers, it's like Google other. And you're looking at all this data and you're like, I have no idea why the volume is crazy high. I have no idea what is their criteria of saying, like, this makes it to the training data set versus not. I have no idea about the crawl data of external sites and what is the criteria of those making it into the training data set, right? And so I think that's why this is hard, because we have imperfect data when it comes to training data sets outside. And then internally, we have so much volume where it is so noisy that it's hard to correlate, like, hey, yes, we're getting so many crawls. Yes, OpenAI says they're doing that to kind of train their models, but what actually makes the cut? Like, what's actually important? We will have to wait until every knowledge cutoff date to really understand. And that's a really hard thing to say to, like, someone that wants to know how AEO is progressing, or like what is the impact of the work you're doing, because you don't own the timeline of what the results will look like until the changes you've made correspond to the knowledge cutoff point. And then only from there you start testing again, like, oh yeah, this was something I added on this date before the knowledge cutoff date, and now I can see it happen. And that huge delay, I think, is going to be great because it really deters spammers. But that huge delay is also terrible because it is such a hard thing to then go like, oh yeah, this is something we should invest in, because ultimately you're placing a bet.
Okay.
Because there's no guarantees of the work that you're doing will definitely be in the training data set of a knowledge cutoff point.
I don't know. Is that? I think I was. I don't know. I have a few tests of my own there, so but we can talk about that later. But let's go into like how do freshness signals like QDF and interact with RAG. I mean, like you kind of like talked about like the freshness and recency of certain things. I mean, can you kind of like explain this a little bit more of why LLMs are probably pulling it in?
Yeah,
and we can improve our visibility with this.
Yeah, so this is where you have a lot of the overlaps with traditional search.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because LLMs are great when they can have that conversational flow. They can really help you dig in deeper, but it lacks real world knowledge that is more recent, just by design. And so freshness becomes important because they don't always know, when they need fresher answers. And if it's not, like, why would I pull stuff that could be in my training data already versus stuff I don't know already that is fresher, right? So that's kind of how I would segment that. It's not that content that is past a certain date won't get any citations or linked to or mentions. Is that there will be a bias towards fresher content because it's not in the training. There is a need to go to the web, which costs them money, by the way, to do, right? To then get a good answer to the user.
Got it. Yeah, I see that. That's see that working a lot right now. So, but let's go into a term that I like. You mentioned relevance engineering. And I like that, and I want to like talk a little bit more about it before we get off here. And also, I think the crowd's just into like the whole conversation here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat. I mean, I'm learning a lot here, and a lot of this is some of the stuff I have to kind of like really think hard about. So that's why you see me looking off to the side, guys. But be sure to ask questions so you get clarification on anything that Victor's saying here, so we can all learn together here. But so let's go into relevance engineering. You mentioned relevance engineering and that influence now takes multiple teams, own media, affiliates, Wikipedia, Reddit, listicles. How should SEOs look at this? And how what's the strategy here?
I didn't coin the term. I think Mike King should probably get credit for that. Maybe someone else said it before, but if anyone's who's really popularized it, it's definitely him.
Okay.
And I would say it's got to do with how LLMs work, right?
Yeah.
They train on a lot of data. They choose the most likely outcome. And so, again, if you are a brand, where do you start? HubSpot just released a framework on how we feel about this world of AEO, and we call it loop marketing.
Nice.
And it really has to start with your brand, right? You really, really, really have to start with expressing who you are as a brand, kind of the topics you care about or things you care about. And only by doing proper marketing through like channels, like just don't think of everything as this is SEO, this is AEO.
Yep.
These are all marketing activities that roll into kind of like just how a website will roll the activities of like email campaigns or social media. Like that URL is still the hub for all these activities. All these marketing activities are still going to be that hub for AEO. And so when you're thinking about relevance and those activities you're doing, choose your words carefully, right? Have a consistent voice. Make sure that whatever message you're putting out there can stand by itself. So that's, digestible, but associated to what you want to be known for. And that's how you would, engineer relevance to your brand, to the things you care about, because you need a lot more counts of that throughout the web, not just you creating spam content or programmatic SEO or whatnot. I'm talking about like real business activities, you actually having true impact. And eventually when some sort of spam or updates or penalization that does roll out, you will come out just fine. Because everything else that we're now seeing a resurgence of like, oh, this feels like SEO in the early 2000s. Like we've seen this story play out, and there's just so many similarities to traditional search that everyone like, folks, let's not screw this up again. Like, we know how this plays out.
Love that. Love hearing what you're saying right there. I mean, it's something, a lot of things that a lot of the things that I've been practicing here myself and seeing great results. So it's working, guys. So I mean, for those that for companies that are maybe scared of elements, like if you were advising a CMO or the head of SEO, at a large brand, what would be the first step for like building those bridges across marketing teams, for LLMs and search influence?
Yeah, the joke answer would be you should promote all the SEOs on your team.
There you go. Yes.
Give them more responsibilities, right? No, I think I understand kind of the stressors they have on this potential paradigm shift. I think it is. Some folks don't, and everyone's going to experience this change differently, depending on how they like to live their life, right? So if you're in B2B SaaS like I am, there are a lot of things AI has made much more efficient via automation, and there are much more ways that I can now query and ask questions or prompts that I wasn't able before, right? And so for me, it has been transformational. Like I'm able to do the work of a team because I have processes that otherwise would have been like a maintenance nightmare for myself. Versus now I have all these agents for like after this call, there will be a transcript. I can then repurpose that, or I can reshare it with a teammate, or these are the highlights. Like all those things that used to take so much time and brain power, like that's all done, right? And so for that CMO, really the team members have to evolve, like with fundamental skill sets. Really they're the foundational knowledge of like what can be done and can't be done is kind of the first step. Like they really need to understand hallucinations. They really need to not put things out there that would put the company at risk, right? In terms of like, what are the legal implications of some of these? Like there needs to be some level of like accountability as well. Like ultimately these are tools and we kind of have to be that human in the loop for the end results. Let me see what this chat is.
Let's see here. It's maybe he just Eric just says, how do you think about AEO visibility tracking given the inconsistency of results? Examples: temperature, probabilistic LLMs.
Yeah, I think they're directional, just like competitive tools that you can use to estimate how much traffic your competitor is getting. SEMrush is one of those companies that has that. SimilarWeb is another company that has some of that, right? And Ahrefs has stuff on that. And then you have a tool like your sponsor, Profound, right? Is looking into AEO visibility tracking. And that's the thing. Like if you think about intents and jobs to be done, which is something Eric actually introduced me to, you're trying to own relatively that vector space and like show up at with some degree of confidence. We don't know the volume metric yet with any of these AEO visibility tools. And even if it is, it's some sort of panel data. It's probably not perfect for your use case. Like it being off by 200% or 1,000%, it would not surprise me. And so when I think about them, I think it's a starting place for it. I think it starts the conversation of what can we do to improve. And ultimately, you still need something qualitative, almost like, surveys of real customers where you're asking them for now, until we have better analytics, whether it's, third party or the platforms themselves open up with a visibility tool, or if ads come out and they require that for reach. That is the best thing we have to move directionally.
Yep, I totally agree on the surveys. That was a huge thing when it came, at a local U conference by Joy Hawkins just recently, and they're saying a lot of them they were just taking surveys of how they found them, and then they were just saying LLMs, and so it's like they're getting a good amount of stuff leads from LLMs. So We are at time, and the last question that I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here is: if someone wanted to get into the SEO space, become an SEO professional themselves, what would your advice be to them?
Yeah, build your own website. Do some weird things on it, have fun, and then say like, how did I get to that first page of Google for some term? I think that self-initiative will kind of really prove itself to a lot of employers of like, hey, you know how to edit a page, you know how to go through a CMS, you might even know how to set up a form for conversions as well, right? At the end of the day, traffic is traffic, but a lot of businesses just want bottom line results. So the closer you are to that, for those starting out in your career, the faster you will move up as well.
Love that. And for this episode to feel complete for you, Victor, any last words for the audience out there, and how can people get a hold of you?
I would say don't get a hold of me. I like being secluded and unknown. But if someone friendly reaches out and says, hey, I'm really curious, I would like you here, I'll usually say yes. I'm here to give back to the community. And if I were to have like any notes for folks, it would be, please be kind to each other. Think about the world you want to be in and be the part that you want to see.
All right, everyone. Let's give a round of applause for Victor here. Victor, oh man. Can you hold on for one quick second? Hold on for one quick second. All right, guys. That concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo.